Okay, welcome to our Monday night team call. I'm giving a special shout out. I'm going to just name everybody because the 11 of you that are on live, I see you. Danielle, Chelsea, Christina, Jackie, Candace, Kate, Mel, Jessica, Nicole, Tiff, Lizzie, Emmy, and Sarah. I see you. I appreciate you being on live. It's not always like the top thing that I'm so pregnant, 39 and a half weeks pregnant. I'm super tired. I would rather do other things sometimes than be like listen to a training or send my invites or whatever. So I really appreciate the fact that you're here and on time and ready to move your business forward. And this is going to be a call that is going to help everybody, no matter where you're at in your business, whether you've signed up your spouse like 8 months ago and you need to know like why and the longevity, or you haven't yet and you need to know more of like the details of how this works and why you should, and it feels like you're just being asked to spend more money, that sort of thing. So let's jump into it. And I'm going to share my screen and let's do if it would come up. Oh no, where'd it go? It was minimized. Our recognition and announcements, and then how come I can't share it? Maybe I can. Can you see it? Not if you can see it. Oh, great. Okay. It was just like looked different. It downloaded different today. So let's start with our Success Club. Shout out to Kate, Cynthia, Emmy, and Ashley, who have already locked it in for August. We have a couple more days, guys. And if you're somebody who is pushing, first of all, you should be talking about your like virtual boot camp or mine or whoever's you're in. You should be talking about this every single day on your stories. Whether you're you should be now to push for the end of the month, but then you need to keep that consistency going. It always it kind of surprises me when I hear people that they're like, I never talk about it. Then how would people know like what they would get if you invite them? Then they're probably like, I don't know what the fuck that is. Like, I'm out. But when I talk about I just do fun ththings, like things that excite me or I know that excite my clients. Like I do a boomerang of I'm uploading a meal plan. Because even if you're in my boot camp, what's mine is yours. You can do the same thing. It's the same resources. Sending an email, getting meal plans out to my clients. For September, there's a weekly meal plan every single week. And so you can leverage that stuff. Spirit Week we do in my boot camp. That sort of stuff is really easy to talk about because it's fun and exciting. And then when you talk about it every day, my invite always looks very similar to, I know I just can't shut up about my boot camp. Have you thought about joining? And then they're not like, what? That would be super weird if I never talked about it. You know what I mean? And I do daily updates of my leaderboard and that sort of thing. So if you're pushing for Success Club and you're willing to go outside your comfort zone, then Jamie Innes and I we do a end of the month push thread. Just send me a DM. You can send it right now or a text and say, Rachel, I want to get in on that. I'm serious. I'm making this happen. So many of you guys are so close to hitting that business non-negotiable, but congratulations if you've changed a life in August. It's freaking awesome. Okay, and here are our current ranks as of last week, or on Thursday, for this week. So if you're not on the board, it's because you missed a qualification of your rank, and you can reach out to me or your upline coach and ask about that. Or if you want to get to the next rank, what that takes. And hint, there are some fun, exciting things coming for that soon with some other really fun people in the network. Spoiler alert. Our top team volume producers, Kate was leading the way with 433, and then Shannon Vandermeer, Juanita Smith, Jesslyn Covell, and Jen Worth crushing it above 200. It's a way to go. Team volume is how you build residual income. Okay, our news for this week, we have 8 new coaches added this week, which is kind of low for Flex. We're at a well, I'll just be honest. Promo codes are going on, you guys, and if you don't use them, you lose them for September. If you use them in August, they will get replenished. So if you use 1 in August, you'll get 1 in September. If you use 2, you'll get 2. I mean, you see where I'm going with this? So I have multiple business centers, and then I use Scott's too. So he'll get his 3, and then my other business centers will get theirs according to what I used for promo codes. So if you want those again, I love that they're doing this, because then it's not going to be every single coach can say I have promo codes. It's not going to be true. So I think that's pretty cool. So use them. Help 3 people. You have at least 3 promo codes, so save people some $10. Success Club 10, anybody that gets a Success Club 10 will get to pick out a Maven Thread headband. I'm wearing one of mine right now. And you'll get to pick it as you hit it. I have a whole bunch laid out here. Pumpkin Spice Shako is launching September 3rd. They did post a time in the roundtable, but I'm so pregnant and dumb, you guys, I can't remember, and I didn't write it down. I think it was not like the butt crack of dawn like they've been doing for program launches. It was later. I think it was 10 a.m. Pacific, so that would be 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm pretty sure it was either that or like noon Eastern Standard Time. So, but I don't feel like it was noon Eastern Standard Time. But anyways, September 3rd, I will post as announcements like are rolling into the roundtable, which is the corporate leader group. I will share them, of course, in FlexForce Fam. So make sure, please, you have my permission to tune out for a second. Make sure your notifications are on in FlexForce Fam, because otherwise you're going to miss announcements, and then we both lose, because then you ask me and I'm like, I already posted that, and then I'm sad because Facebook is whack. Okay? I won't be mad at you. It's not your fault, but turn on your notifications. Recover is $10 off through Labor Day, so through next Monday, through 1 more week. So if you haven't taken advantage of that, if you haven't tried the vegan Recover, now's like a great time to do that. And Recover, just a little asterisk, excuse me, normally Recover is enough PV to be active, just Recover. It's normally 52, but when they do sales like this, it does cut the PV down, so it's not enough to be active alone. It does still have PV, it's like 40 something, but I just want to let you guys know that. 3-day refresh is also 10% off right now, so that's really cool. No team call next Monday, because I will be just coming home from the hospital and it is Labor Day. So we will just not have the team call, and they will resume the following week. Guest speakers on team calls, you guys, I have a lot of, I don't mean to like toot my own horn here, but I have a lot of friends in the network that have like a lot of things to share on team calls. That right now we have 23 people on live, which is a lot better than what we started with a couple minutes ago. But to me, that's not enough to ask somebody to give up almost an hour of their time to come live. It's a lot more powerful. I know this because I've spoken on other team calls, and when there's more than 30, I can just feel the energy difference. So I'm just going to put that out to everybody, that once we I'm consistently seeing 30 people on live, that's when I'll go back to getting like other like top leader guest speakers. Okay, so not to say there's going to be any less value offered on team calls. That's not what I'm saying at all. But I know that people like to hear from like the celebrities in Beachbody, if you will, and we can do that, but we need to get attendance up on these team calls for sure. And as a top team, there's no reason that attendance can't be up on these team calls. So we're going to talk about how to rock a spouse account, making a profit quickly, right away, and being compliant with it. I'm going to be speaking on it, and I'm going to show you guys Scott's back office and that sort of thing, and how you can start growth for that right now. So, you guys know I like the use of the chat and stuff. You can do that. I highly recommend taking notes, because otherwise you're totally going to forget some of this stuff that is going to be helpful to you. And I didn't make slides because I just didn't have time. And I needed to focus on my own income producing activities first. So I'm sorry, no slides, but I have all the info to give you. So I want to back it up just a little bit, well, a lot of it, to the beginning of my coaching journey 4 years ago. And people were like, sign up your spouse, sign up your spouse, sign up your spouse. And I was engaged to Scott, and I was like, no, that's weird. So I didn't sign him up and right away. And I kept hearing it, and I didn't hear why I was supposed to sign him up. He wasn't at the time. At the time, we didn't have the performance line, and he wasn't doing the workouts or drinking Shakeology. So I was like, there's no point. So one day I was in my parents' basement where I lived, and I saw this like graphic, which is super outdated and won't like, it's irrelevant now, but it said like, it did an income progression of a spouse account. And I was like, that was crazy. And it said on there like that it wasn't like actively being built. This was because they signed up their spouse early on in the business, and then they grew their business around that spouse account. And so I was like, guys, I'm a math minor. Numbers don't lie. So I was like, okay, there's got to be something to this. Like, I've heard this so many times. By the way, I've been a coach for like 1 or 2 months. It was not like years had gone by. I really pride myself on being really coachable, but I just didn't understand the reason behind it. So finally I saw some like proof, I guess, you know. So I investigated further, and I do have a numbers brain. So if ever something like this doesn't make sense to you, just reach out to me, and I'm happy to, I like kind of love it. I'm happy to explain it to you and help you like strategize. I love that stuff. So when you sign up a spouse, it's both a short-term and a long-term in like for gain in your business. I'm going to fast forward to now, and then I'm going to talk about why that happened in between. So now, Scott, so I signed Scott up very early on. He wasn't one of my first 2 coaches, I'll be honest, but I finally sat him down and I was like, hey, if I like make you a shake every day, will you drink it? And he was like, sure. So he just saw that I was like making me happy and whatever, and he was like, sure, that's fine. So I did, and I signed him up, and now 4 years later, Scott's account makes on like anywhere between $500 and $800 a week. I do not actively build his business anymore. That's money I pretty much just like, it's residual income. It's all volume based. So I'm going to talk about how I got there. Obviously wasn't like I signed him up and he started making that. It wasn't like that at all. It's because I've never missed Success Club. I've always been consistent. I've always shown up. You guys know this, but I feel like I need to like insert that and like do the Beachbody like income disclaimer. But in the beginning, Scott's account like still did it, and it has always helped me. It's never been a draw on my profit, because you guys have always had the mindset like, if I'm going to do this, I'm just going to do it. And there's a smart way to do it. Like, okay, bear with me, pregnant and dumb, hashtag pregnant and dumb. But you know what I'm saying? So when you sign up your spouse account, everybody has a strong leg and a weak leg. And I'm using the term spouse, but it can be anybody that's compliant with U+2. So I also have, my mom is also, my mom was my first coach. I have her signed up as well on my other leg. So it can be somebody that's, as long as they're in the compliant U+2, you can use them. So I'm using the term spouse and Scott loosely, okay? So, excuse me. You put them on your weak leg. Everybody has a strong leg and a weak leg, and they might flip-flop, and that's okay. There's just different strategies that go with it, and I'm here for the strategy, let me tell you. But, and I'm going to use this kind of loosely. So I put Scott on my weak leg because then your strong leg has volume being poured into that side of the bucket from your upline and other people adding to the team, and that's why it's Team Beachbody, and it's freaking amazing. It's so cool. But to maximize on that volume that's being, aka money, that's being poured into that bucket, you have to be building that weak leg. That's where the spouse account comes in at like clutch AF. So I signed Scott up, and what I encourage everybody to do, I don't want it to be something that is another withdrawal from your bank account. That's not why you got in this business. That's not why, I mean, no, I don't want that. I want you to be serious. I want you to like utilize the amazingness that can come from having something like this when you show up and you're consistent. Okay, like, do you want, like, you know, like I've just always said, I'm going to do this business, whatever. And now Scott's account makes almost a full-time income, and I don't really do anything over there. So when you have that account, then when it's at the top of your leg, then as you add to your leg, and you have, let's say you add, so this is your spouse, this is Scott, and then Danielle came after Scott, and she's under Scott over here. So anything Danielle does rolls up to Scott and to me. So, and repeat, you know, as you're recruiting and as you're adding discount coaches and whatnot. So that was on my weak leg. And, just give me a second. So the way to maximize this, even if you are brand new, is what I encourage people to do. Like I said, I don't want this to be another withdrawal from your bank account. I encourage you to have your Shakeology on your account because you need 90 PV on Home Direct to hit Success Club. But that could also be like Energize and Recover. Okay, it can be any compilation of 90 PV, but on Home Direct. And then anything else, put under that spouse account. Because one, it's going to keep it active. Two, you're going to collect the volume, and it's going to help you team cycle bonus. And so if you cycle, like, okay, so then once the Performance Line launched, after I'd been a coach for like 5 months or something, the Performance Line launched, and I started putting all of that stuff under Scott's account because we were using it anyways. But then it kept him active, and then those points rolled up and built towards 100 for a cycle. If Scott cycles one time in a month, that would be, for me, okay, if that leg equals 100 PV or 100 team volume, sorry, there's too many damn acronyms, I'm so pregnant and dumb here, but if it equals 100, you're going to cycle one time, and if you're Emerald, that's going to be $14, which is super, super, super close to the business service fee of that second account, which is $15.95, okay? And that's if you're doing like the bare minimum, okay? So it's not an extra withdrawal out of your bank account, even if you're just using the products for yourself. Does that make sense? And we have so much more than what we had when I started. Like we just had Shakeology when I started. We didn't have bars, we didn't have the Performance Line, we didn't have collagen, we didn't get any PV from apparel, like nothing. We didn't have pumpkin spice launching. So then the other tip, I hope you wrote that down, like anything past your 90 PV should put in your spouse account. Then also any order, oh my God, P90 X bars, Chelsea, those were, you're right, we did have those and they were bomb. They were so good. Anyways, side note. Then also any type of order that you send out or have a client for, whether that's Just Bod, whether that's Energize, 3-day refresh, freaking whatever, if it's not a challenge pack, you put that under your spouse account because you're going to collect the volume. It's going to help them stay active, and it's going to build your residual income. Okay? That's my other tip. So I started building that way. Well, sort of, once we got the, and yes, Kate, save the Success Club orders for your account. But this is how I really, really built. So Scott is a lifetime 1-star. And he's always diamond now because you cap otherwise at $250 as an emerald. So I keep him diamond because otherwise we would be missing out on literally free money. So literally anything besides challenge packs, send this share cart under your spouse account. Just let the person know. You're like, it's no different for them. I've never had anyone like, no, then I'm not doing it. I'm just like, no worries, Scotty is not going to be your coach. And they like giggle about it. I'm like, nobody wants it. I just make a joke out of it. And then seriously, I'm like, it's just a business thing. It's no different for you. So then, as I needed to build Scott to diamond, what I would do, my rule of thumb, if you want to, and again, this may differ if you have different goals, if you're pushing for different things, then talk to me individually about it and we can reassess. But again, my rule of thumb to really maximize income and rank at the same time and to really maximize that spouse account is to get yourself to Success Club 10 ASAP in the month. And I say Success Club 10 because that's when you get Shakeology leads, aka if you're Emerald and hit Success Club 10, then you get free Shakeology leads, and that's free commission. You get free money, like from people signing up. So I always say Success Club 10, and it keeps people in your bucket, in your pipeline. Then anything extra, but if you're really pushing for another rank, I would say hit Success Club 6 and then start, or 5, whatever, you know what I mean. Then start putting everything else under that spouse account, because then you're not only, I would assume if it's your spouse, you're hooking up your bank account, you're making that commission off of those orders you're putting under there. You're making that commission through their account. It's in their name, but you're collecting that volume under you. So you're also going to start building your team cycle bonus a lot faster. And then that can help you start building towards diamond and then 2-star, because Scott was definitely one of my emeralds to get to diamond. My mom was the other. And all I did was get myself to Success Club, and then I put people under them. And then I had success, and then I had diamond. So Kate DM me, and there's a whole FAQ about it and about Shakeology leads you can read, and I will, it's on a month-to-month basis, but check out the FAQ and then DM me about questions about Shakeology leads, because they're pretty cool. So those are my tips about, that's literally how I built, you guys. Like, I hit Success Club, and then I would put everything else under Scott for building residual income and then hitting ranks. So Scott was one of my diamonds to hit 2-star. And then I put my second business center. I'm not going to really get into that, but it's built, my whole business is built around Scott's business. So his business center makes a lot of money, and I never put, unless he needs something for rank, I don't really put anything in there anymore because I don't need to. but it makes a lot of money and it's compliant, which is important. So I have like, I mean, you can, whatever. If you have questions about it, we can talk about it. You can DM me questions or put them in the chat. But I was going to say something else. Scott was one of my diamonds to get me to 2-star. I said that, and he was one of my diamonds to get the team to elite. Like, I really utilize, it's almost like franchising yourself, which is what you get to do when you hit 2-star and all of that. But it's literally maximizing all the things. Okay, so to maximize both you and your spouse, diamond is the first goal. Hit 1 star on your own, since hubby is a diamond. Okay, so what I like to say is, like, just honestly, whatever you do to yourself, do to your spouse. And you can giggle because it sounds dirty and weird. But so get yourself to Success Club, get your spouse to Success Club. Get yourself to diamond, get them to diamond. And then just like rinse and repeat, like all the things. So if you're emerald, your next goal is to get to diamond. And to do that, you should be duplicating your spouse to emerald. And just rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat. Excuse me. So I think that's what I wanted to say. I'm going to show you guys like what it really started like for Scott's Business Center. And if you're thinking like, well, I'm not even getting myself to Success Club, whatever, then you need a mindset change. And I'm really loving the book, Sell It Like Sirhan. If you guys, if any of you watch Bravo, then you need to read that book. It's so good, and he reads it. But I think on Audible. But then you need to dive into some PD, because you can do anything that you decide to do in the business. Like, once people said that, and I was like, I can make more money doing that, I was like, I'm just going to up my numbers. I'm just going to do it. And that goes back to what I talked about at the beginning of the call. You guys should be talking about your virtual boot camps like every single day. Like, I'm not saying like 15 stories about it, but people should know about what you have to offer, and you need to be doing the tracker and inviting and all of those things, so that everybody has the power to change more than 5 lives in a month. Like, my 2-year-old can count to 10. So it's not a big number by any means. By any means. So yes, what Danielle said, the benefit of having a spouse account on one leg is you basically get to control that whole leg. It's totally up to you. Then it's 100% in your control. The more you can control in a business, the better. Like I said, compliance has you plus 2. So I have my mom and Scott, and I have one of them on each leg. So when we were pushing for elite last year, you better believe both of them were diamonds. And then I had my second business center, and then now I have a third business center. So sometimes I control up to like 4 diamonds. That's pretty crazy, and that's all compliant. The more you can control in this business, yeah, Victoria's Secret is $1 million business. Do they ever miss a day emailing you? No, they don't. Even if no one were to buy anything, they do not miss a day of an email. So true. Love that. Okay, I'm going to pull up his earnings here. Okay, it freaking locked me out. Yeah, let me talk about real quick why it's so important to go 2-star. So when you hit 2-star, I've kind of talked about with a spouse account, you kind of are franchising yourself. When you hit 2-star, you literally franchise yourself. You need to open up a second business center. You've probably seen like some of my stuff, it says like second CBC. It means a second coach business center. And so I have my businesses up here, Scott's is here. And then when I hit 2-star, which means you have a diamond on each of your legs, then I got to open a second business center. And I opened it on Scott's weak leg. So it's actually down here. So anything that happens in my second business center rolls up And it mirrors up. So I don't have to like hit Success Club here and here. I just put everything in my second business center and it mirrors up to my first, which is pretty cool. But volume wise, it bounces up to Scott and to me. Again, like me one. So I make commission down in my second business center. And then I also throw all of the volume to Scott, which rolls up to my first. It literally doubles your income. So I have 3 business centers. So that means I have 3 different paychecks, 3 different direct deposits that go into my bank account. And then it builds the volume on my whole business. So wherever a challenge pack you sell, so if you sell a challenge pack down here, it's like typically, we're just gonna make it easy here. It's usually like, what, $40 commission? So $40 commission, and it's like, we're just gonna say it's 100 points. I don't know, it's different depending on promos. So then you bounce up 100 points to your spouse account, which is enough to cycle. And if they're a diamond, that's $18, but we're just gonna say 20, just for the sake of this example, so $20. And then that 100 points bounces up to your first, and you're definitely diamond. And so it cycles again for $20. So you selling one challenge pack, you made $40 down here, $20 in each team cycle bonus. So you literally doubled. So you made $80 instead of $40. Main rules for being compliant is you need to just check out the U+2, and it needs to be a parent or a spouse or a child over 18 that's on a credit card. You have to use their social security number unless you have an LLC. That's why everybody says 2-star is the game changer. That's why it's so important to get to diamond, because that's when you can really start. First of all, the team cycle bonus is way more than it is at emerald. And then you can start running to 2-star. Your business really, really, really starts at 2-star. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen here. And this is, I think people like when I do this. Okay, so this is when I signed Scott up in 2015 in July, apparently. So he made nothing. Okay, let's go ahead. I did not plan this out. Let's go ahead 1 month. Okay, so I put something under him. I'm not going to click through all this stuff because I don't know what's going to happen. But I put a subscription under him, and he team cycle bonus one time. So his account made $45. That week, my account probably made a couple hundred. I honestly have literally no idea. This is really close to when I went diamond. This week, his account made $9. I put like a little bit of retail under him. Like maybe somebody ordered like 3-day refresh. Again, no idea. This is also pre-BOD, so it's before BOD rolled out, obviously. Okay, so let's go up to like after the new year. Here we go. So I put a coach under him. That's what the fast start bonus is. So that means I had already hit Success Club. I put a coach under him. At this point, I think he, can't really tell if he was what he was because there was no, oh, he was still an emerald coach. I know for sure he didn't hit diamond until February or March. So by this time in March, he is now a diamond. So he's making a little bit more, $60. Let's see if that was consistent at all. I mean, it's like $50 every week, $100. I mean, see, it's growing slowly. Some weeks it goes down. I mean, it's ebbing and flowing. We're like around 100. Pretty cool. Because I'm showing up, I'm being consistent. At this point, I've been a coach for over a year. Okay, now let's go ahead. This is when... I've been a coach for like a year and a half. Okay, it dipped again. Maybe I was like, I hadn't hit success. Oh, it's at the beginning of the month. That makes sense. I hadn't hit Success Club yet, probably. Let's check near the end of the month. About 45, but it's still building. I've been again, I've been a coach for 1.5 years. At this point, I've been a coach for 2 years, but it's still, I mean, every week he's making just, he's just hanging out. It's like he's making something. And you guys notice everything, most of where he's getting income is that team cycle bonus. It's from volume. So it's because I'm now building my business around him. Okay, so yes, these checks are not huge. Who would be like, no, thank you. If I was like, do you want an extra $42 this week for no reason? No. And if that's happening every week times 4, so around $160, is your $15 worth it? It's up to you. Okay, so then at this point, let's scroll up. This is when, what did I have? I don't know. Last year is when we really started we really made a huge push for Elite, and this is when I really started seeing a lot of growth around Scott. So at this point, I've been a coach for 3 years, and now he's making 250. Oh, he must have capped. In team cycle bonus. Yep, he was Emerald. He dropped for a long time. Yep, I remember now. So he's making $250 every single week because he's maxing out as an Emerald coach. So I got him back to Diamond, and now it's growing again. It's a lot higher. And now, is this a couple weeks ago? This was during a lull. Okay, or not. I mean, it's around $500 this whole year. Every week in his account only. So again, remember, how do I stop sharing here? So this is again another account I'm checking the payday for. And yes, I will tell you guys, there are some leaders on this team that are under Scott's account because honestly, you just never know what's going to happen. And that's okay. That's fine. That's why Scott's a 1-star coach. And it's pretty cool. You just never know what some people say they're going to and they do, and some people say they're going to and they don't, and some people say they're not going to and they do, you just honestly, you never know. And that's without me doing anything at this point under him because I have other business centers. So I never put Success Club points. After you hit 2-star, you pretty much just don't use your spouse account for anything other than a paycheck. That sounds so, you know what I mean? Just use your spouse as a paycheck. And just bonus money. But if you start with those tricks that I told you, and honestly, even if you're just using your spouse account as a discount coach, you will build your income. Remember, I've been a coach for 4 years. 4 years is not a long time it's like raising kids, some days the days are long, but the years are short. And that's when I saw that graphic, I was like, well, I'm doing this. So even if I did half of what that graphic showed of the income progression, I was like, that would be worth it to me. Like I showed you guys, who's looking at $40 and they're like, no, I don't want an extra $40 this week. And that's up to you, but it's no extra work, and it's $15 a month, yes, to hold them, to hold their coach business fee. But if you're ordering more than one product, it is worth it. It is worth it. And it is a tax write-off. Okay, that's what I have for you guys. And there's a lot of numbers, and I know some people like this stuff and some people are like, I don't know. But I hope it was helpful. So if you have not signed up your spouse, I really encourage you to find a way to do that that's going to serve your business and enhance your business and your life. I really don't want it to be like, oh, Rachel's asking me to buy another challenge pack. No, I'm not asking that. But a lot of you guys are at Success Club 4 and you don't have your spouse signed up. So you should sign up your spouse with a challenge pack because you'll hit Success Club. And if you sign them up with a challenge pack, you will make commission off of it, get the Success Club points, and get more stuff. So it's pretty cool. And we have way more challenge packs than we did even a year ago. I'm moving this pen around like an idiot. What questions do you guys have? Wait for a couple minutes. Yes, agree with Danielle. Like, do it the cheapest way. You don't need BOD. And now we have so many packs that don't require BOD, which is so cool. We didn't have that even like a couple of months ago. So you could do like a 3-day refresh pack. You can use a promo code on them. If it's over 160, you can get them to be Mindset, like Jessica said, or UPF if you don't have it, and then get the products that you don't currently have or that you want more of. No one sees their SSN. It's just for tax purposes because Scott's account makes over $600 a year, so we have to file taxes on it. But we file jointly, so that's just like the tax insertion. I don't know. What leg do I add to on the spouse account first? Like build one first for maximum volume on both sides. Great question. So after you get your spouse account to Emerald, then you'd want to build their weak leg first. Build their weak leg, that will maximize volume on both ends. Excuse me. Wait a couple more minutes. If you guys think of questions, like seriously, DM them to me. If you DM them to me on Friday, I will get back to you later. But I know Danielle has Numbers Brain too, and she's happy to help. She really maximizes her husband's account. And it's a really easy way to pad your way to rank. Like I said, just has a lot of benefits. In my opinion, if you're going to do this, like do it right and start maximizing from the business that you're committing to build, you know? Scott and my nephew are lifting. I can hear their music. I'm going to read this out loud because people said it was helpful. Danielle said, log into your back office. If you don't know which leg is your weak leg, log into your back office and click the volume tab. Oh, I will do this on Scott's here. Hello, my large face. Go into your back office and click the volume tab. And one of them is going to have more volume than the other. They might be super, super close. So Scott's legs flip-flop from time to time, and that's fine. But currently, his right leg is the weak leg because it has less volume. That's how you know. For a lot of you guys, it's going to be super, super, super obvious. Like one leg will have like a lot and the other won't. So you'll know. And if they're similar, that's fine. And just reach out to your upline or to me and just ask, like screenshot it. That would be helpful. And just ask like where you should put them. It doesn't have to change, Mel, but it could. It definitely could change. So my legs now change from my first business center. My left leg used to be so strong, like gross strong, like so much volume. So after I hit 2-star, I spent just years building my right leg, which was my weak leg. So I have a lot of leaders over there, including Scott and my second business center and other leaders on the team. Like a lot of, it's heavy diamonds over there. So now that is my strong leg. So now I'm building the left leg heavy again. In order to hit Emerald, do I need to sign up my +2 in the same month? No, they don't need to be in the same month. But to be Emerald, you need to have one on each leg, and they both need to be active. They do not need to be in the same month. Use those promo codes, Trisha. You got it, girl. So like my mom was my first coach, and Scott wasn't my second coach. I said that, but who was my second coach? I think it was like a college friend. And then after that, I was like, okay, I'm like really gonna do this for real. And then I signed Scott up shortly after that. But if I were to go back, I would sign him up a lot sooner because we have so many more products that I personally use alone. Like even if he wasn't going to drink Shakeology, it still would have been worth it. If you use, I'm just going to use for example, if you're not drinking Shakeology every day, like what are you doing? But so if you're drinking Shakeology every day, that should be on your account. And then like Recover, typically if it wasn't on sale this month, that would be Recover would be enough to keep your spouse account active. It's typically 52 PV. Yep, perfect, Candace. Shake-O on you, Energize and Recover on the other. And now we have Daily Sunshine, Collagen, Pumpkin Spice, guys. Just as a PSA here, is not going to count for Home Direct. I'm 95% sure, because it's not going to be a Home Direct type purchase because it's a one-time purchase thing. They're only going to have it out. They're going to do 2 rollouts for it. But anyways, so you should put that under your spouse account for sure. For sure. Ooh, love that, Chelsea. You should just back to school for Daily Sunshine, order it for after school snacks. Leo loves Daily Sunshine. Anytime we make like Recover, he's like, shake, shake, shake. Yeah, so definitely order it under your spouse account. If like you guys, 10 out of 10 pumpkin spice. Oh my God, so freaking good. I'm really upset with I don't like pumpkin spice things. So like I don't like pumpkin spice coffee. Maybe I do actually and just need to try it, but I don't typically like that stuff. So I thought it was gonna be gross. I was like, ooh, like, I mean, some of our flavors, I'm like, I'm not a fan, you know? So I was like, it's gonna be gross. And so I ordered some just to sell to my clients, and I kept one for myself, and it was literally the best shake I've ever had. And I only added almond milk. Like it was so basic. And it was sold out. Like they didn't do another window last year, and I was like devastated. And that's all I can think about like half of this pregnancy is like having pumpkin spice Shake-O. It is so good. So once I find out the time, I will let you guys know. I know they're much more equipped this year to launch that. I'm stocking up for sure. Super good with banana. It has like some spices in it, like some cinnamon, some nutmeg. I don't know. It's so good. So I think I only had like maybe 2 clients not like it. Everybody said like they wish that was like a full-time flavor and stuff. And maybe it will be some sometime. Morgan still is hoarding some from last year. But I'm really excited about pumpkin spice, and I'm going to try to go live about it when it launches because I really think it's freaking amazing. And they're going to max how much people can buy of it. And when I get like all of those details, I will share them. I just don't want to share incorrectly because I feel like I've done that before and about this because I can't remember what they did last year. It was a lot. But this year I will be maxing out the limit on how many to get. And it is only in packets. They don't do a bag of it. It's only in packets. It's so pretty. It is vegan too, by the way. So good. I can't wait. I was like joking. I was like, I don't know what I'm more excited for, to have a baby or for pumpkin spice Shaco. I'm just kidding. I'm definitely more excited to have a baby. No more. But it's a close second, let me tell you. I know. And then peppermint mocha is coming in like November. That's going to be huge for those of you that like peppermint and mocha. I'm not one of those people, but I am going to get it because that really bit me in the ass last time. And Carl Deichler was like, it's so good. Like, he could not even hide it. He was like, it's literally the best flavor we've ever put out. I'm having her on Friday. Those of you that don't know, I'm having the baby on Friday, so I will be out of commission or out of office, whatever. Friday, Saturday, Sunday for sure. I will definitely be in the hospital. I'll have my phone and stuff, but I'll be working, obviously. So, yeah. And I'm just gonna, while we're like just hanging out here, thank you guys for staying on. I'm just gonna I will do a post on this, but it's different this time. So when I had Leo, I was teaching and I had maternity leave from teaching, kind of, sort of, in my opinion. I don't I think maternity leave is like wild. So I had to use all of my sick time, and they started my FMLA at 66% pay for my C-section at the same time. So that, and then the rest of the weeks I took off were unpaid. I was unpaid for more than half of my leave, or for half of my leave, I was unpaid. And they like worked with me and stuff. I didn't go without a paycheck and whatever. But this time, I know there's a lot of like, I don't know, people are like, you don't get any maternity leave. You guys, like, I get to work my business when I want to work my business. And if I want to work my business while I'm nursing at 3 a.m., then that's when I'm drafting an email to send out to my clients. And, I work smarter, not harder. And it's something that I have way more freedom than I did. And I have built that residual income that I can pretty much bank. I'm not bank, but, I can expect certain paychecks without having to work. I definitely do not work 8-hour days now. So I definitely won't be like when Blake comes either, but I won't be unpaid either. Yes, I will be present again quickly, but I get to work from my phone, and it's things that I love doing. I get to connect with and like chat with my friends, like you guys. I get to like post healthy recipes that I'm using anyways because I'm nursing and that sort of thing. So it's just like a mindset thing. I just wanted to share that with you guys. Like, that's how I feel about it. And yeah, I'll share a picture of her when we and I thought I read Christina's or I said I was going to share a picture of Blake after I read Christina's chat, and then I saw Danielle's comment that said, with no makeup on and hospital underwear in my comfy bed, and that's what I pictured, like, taking a picture of. But I won't do that. I will just send a picture of her. She would be cuter than me. But on Friday, but I'll let you guys know, and know that, again, that's how I feel about maternity leave. So I don't want you to feel like you can't reach out to me when she's new and fresh. You can. Just know and be respectful, and you all are, of my response time. It might be 24 to 48 hours, but I will get back to you because I love what I do, and I wouldn't be able to be home with my kids and stuff if it weren't for coaching. So I'm super out of breath and I'm super tired. So thanks for hanging out, guys. Have an awesome night, and see you in 2 weeks when we resume team calls. Have a great night.